Well, tonight, Justin Fuente and the Virginia Tech Hokies come into Durham to face number 22 Duke in an ACC Coastal clash. They're ready to bury the memories of one of the worst weeks in recent program history. Last week, the Hokies took their number 13 ranking to Old Dominion as 29-point favorites. No one expected much of a challenge from winless ODU, but nothing went right for Tech. They lost their starting quarterback, Josh Jackson. Broken leg, might be out for the year. Meanwhile, the Monarchs' backup quarterback, Blake LaRussa, was unconscious. He threw for almost 500 yards against Bud Foster's young defense, which gave up a total of 632 yards in a 49-35 shocker. Justin Fuente said they were ripe for that upset.
I told them I liked you guys a lot better when everybody told you you were terrible. Okay? Everybody told you didn't have any chance of winning the first game, and all you did was work your tails off. And then now we get all feeling good about ourselves, and we got brought back down to earth. We got what we deserved.
So Fuente suggesting his young team became intoxicated by the positive press. Well, of course, all the headlines this week were decidedly negative. A little bit of humble pie for his young Duke on the road. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Durham. Alongside Dan Orlovsky, I'm Clay Mathick. Paul Carcaterra's down on the field. And the only thing worse, Dan, than losing as 29-point favorites is losing the starting quarterback as well, and that's what happened in the case of Josh Jackson. Might be out for the year, and now the team turns to Kansas transfer Ryan Willis.
Yeah, like you said, Clay, Ryan Willis went to Kansas coming out of high school, and he had the opportunity to play a bunch as a true freshman there. And we can't really read into his numbers a ton. That was a bad Kansas team, and he was kind of hung out to dry a little bit. I've watched him on tape. I like a lot of the things that he does. He's going to open up the downfield passing game for Virginia Tech's offense. He's plenty athletic to be a part of their run game and some of their zone reads. Don't be surprised if this Virginia Tech offense now with Ryan Willis is a little bit better than it was before.
Meanwhile, Duke gets ready to start ACC play tonight. David Cutcliffe has the Blue Devils 4-0 and in the top 25 for the first time in almost 3 years. And he just got great news regarding his quarterback situation. Daniel Jones back after missing a couple of games with a broken collarbone.
How about that for Duke and David Cutcliffe? You know, Daniel Jones, I love watching him on tape. The ball always goes the direction it's supposed to with the correct read. Early on, is he getting it out of his hands and handling the Bud Foster Saxburg pressure?
So it's pretty apparent that quarterback play is going to be a big storyline to watch here tonight. ACC opener for Duke. Virginia Tech trying to rebound from an embarrassing defeat last week. Virginia Tech won the toss. They've deferred their option. So Daniel Jones will get the football in his hands to start. The kickoff is a low bouncing ball fielded inside the 5 by Deion Jackson. And he'll get across the 20, stop it around the 22-yard line. Daniel Jones, a big dual threat quarterback from Charlotte, North Carolina. And again, back only 3 weeks after breaking his left collarbone at Northwestern. He had surgery on the 9th of September, just 20 days ago. But he says he's basically 100%. Do you expect any lingering effects here tonight?
No, they wouldn't have put him out there if he wasn't, but I do expect to see early on some pressure from Bud Foster.
So here we go, first play from scrimmage for the Blue Devils. It's Britton Brown, the sophomore running back. And Duke ran for 372 last week against NC Central. Brown had 118 of it. We'll see how much they run. Try and take some of the pressure off Daniel Jones here in his first game in a few weeks. Well, as I say that, he steps up trying to pass for the first time, and he's complete. Eluded the rush and got it to Jonathan Lloyd, his senior physical captain. Picks up the first down. He's finally brought down by Caleb Farley, but it's a gain of 9 yards, and they'll move the chains.
How about that, hanging in there and delivering a strike under some pressure?
Duke's going to want to go with tempo. They are quick over the ball. On first down, it's Brown again. he'll work his way ahead for a few yards. Dylan Rivers brings him down to the turf. This is a very young defense for Virginia Tech. Maybe the youngest Bud Foster's ever had. Certainly going through some growing pains right now.
And Clay, you mentioned the pressure. It'll be interesting to see if this youth from Virginia Tech's defense handles it.
2nd down and 7 for the Blue Devils on their opening series. Jones, Cox fires, complete, not across midfield. This Duke offense finding some traction early. That's a 10-yard pickup as we take a look at the impact players, Dano.
And for the Duke offense, you've got to look at their receivers, T.J. Ramming and Jonathan Lloyd. If you watch the Virginia Tech defensive tape from last week, some big plays over the tops of their DBs. Those receivers got to go make some. And then I mentioned the Virginia Tech DBs. Farley and Bryce Watts, they're going to be tested tonight. You cannot be just in position. You have to go make some plays.
T.J. Ramming, the senior out of Powder Springs, Georgia. The top of your screen. Jones looking that way, and it'll be caught by Lloyd, and he is met immediately and thrown down to the turf. It's going to be a pickup of a few. Javon Quillen, cornerback, makes the tackle.
That was a long throw for Daniel Jones.
2nd down and 7. There's Britton Brown again right up the middle to bring up 3rd down and manageable.
Gentlemen, just remember 3 weeks ago, a metal plate was inserted to stabilize the break on the left collarbone of Daniel Jones. He took that first hit like a champ, but this Duke offense is different with Jones. It ignites the receivers, according to head coach David Cutcliffe.
No doubt about it. They've got their leader back. Ball tipped, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Hokies. First interception thrown this year. It's Reggie Floyd picking it off. Duke quarterbacks hadn't thrown an interception until that one. It was tipped at the line and right into the hands of Reggie Floyd.
And Clay, the play is really made by Khalil Ladler, coming off the edge, who had a rough week last week in some pass defense issues. He blitzes off the edge, and you know me, I'm always saying find a way to impact the play if you can't get home. Ball up in the air, big pick for Virginia Tech's defense.
Exactly what this defense needed, especially after that gut punch last week. Deshaun McClease will run it ahead for the Hokies. He'll pick up about 6 on 1st down. Ryan Willis says there's no throw I can't make, but tonight I just want to be clean. I want to play within myself. It's his first start since 2016 when he was a Kansas Jayhawk. It's McClease again. He's got a 1st down and more. He'll carry it to the 30-yard line. Deshaun McClease really bulked up this offseason. Added about 26 pounds of muscle. He looks great. The sophomore from Chesapeake, Virginia. He'll move the chains.
I love when he gets his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage, speed downhill.
Here's Willis, lobbing it down, and there's some contact in the secondary. Damon Hazelton, the intended receiver. It sure looked like Josh Blackwell had a piece of jersey. No penalty.
Blackwell might have gotten away with a little bit here. I mean, there's definitely a little bit of a jersey tug, but I will say this. Virginia Tech making it very clear. If Duke is going to play press man on them, they are going to take their shots to Hazelton downfield.
How about Blackwell, though? If you're not cheating, you're not trying, right? Redshirt freshman got away with it. Now here's McClease again, and he's driven down hard by Giles Harris. Man, is he a playmaker. 259 career tackles coming into the night. And now it's 3rd and long.
You hit it right on the head, Clay. I mean, he's a playmaker for this defense. He's seen everything. He knows this Virginia Tech offense very good. He says this defense is great. We play with tons of passion.
They're in long field goal range right now. Willis is complete on that slant route. It was plucked by Phil Patterson. That's just his 6th catch of the year, but it's a big one. Puts the Hokies down at the 11-yard line, a gain of 18.
How about Ryan Willis right now? Standing in the pocket with some poise. They get man-to-man off Duke's defense. He finds his in-breaker for a big touchdown. He's been very impressive so far, not hesitating to drive balls.
Back to the ground. That's McLeese, maybe a yard. Virginia Tech this year, Dan, has been pretty good in the red zone. They lead the ACC with 9 touchdowns. Also have 3 field goals and 13 trips. Trying to get on the board here early in this first quarter on the road. That's Cunningham, the tight end. Lines up to the left of Willis. Fakes the handoff, throws to the end zone. There's some good coverage there in the secondary by Marquise Waters. And that pass intended to Savoy lands incomplete.
A little lucky here for Ryan Willis. They're really trying to get Marquise Waters to suck up on a run fake. He doesn't bite, and he's in position to make the pick. That's something for us to pay attention to, is Ryan Willis seeing that next level of coverage from Duke.
Willis threw 17 interceptions as the starter at Kansas. He'll go to the end zone again. More contact. Again, no penalty flag. Now is Miles Hudzik on the coverage that time, intended for Eric Kuma. And it's 4th down. The field goal unit will come out for the Hokies.
The one thing that Duke looks for in defensive backs, can you handle adversity? You know you're going to be playing man-to-man against these Virginia Tech receivers all night. You have to be up for the challenge no matter what.
Brian Johnson, now 4 for 4 on the year on field goal attempts, nails that 28-yarder. And off the turnover, Tech gets points. It's 3-0 in Durham. Welcome back to the ACC on ESPN, the beautiful Duke campus. Alongside Dan Orlovsky and Paul Carcaterra, I'm Clay Matvick. I know it's your first time here, and you've been impressed with this place.
It's beautiful. I mean, the old world charm of the buildings, great college life campus feel, not just a basketball program anymore.
So Virginia Tech goes 9 plays, covered 38 yards. It's a 28-yard field goal for Brian Johnson. Off the Duke turnover, first interception thrown this year by Duke quarterbacks. Daniel Jones had his pass tipped at midfield. Duke turns it into 3 points, and now Duke will get it back at the 25-yard line. Duke hasn't converted a 3rd down opportunity yet. A play fake. Jones steps in, slings it to the 40, caught by Noah Gray, the 3rd-string tight end, will keep this drive going. That's a pickup of 14.
I mentioned in the open, Daniel Jones will always get the ball to the right read. That's the right read there, finding Noah Gray against this soft defense. Beautiful play by Daniel Jones of understanding the coverage and being a distributor.
Jones now 5 of 8, 37 yards passing and a pick after missing 2 weeks with that broken collarbone. He can still run, and he's still good at it. First down. Caleb Farley chased him to the sideline. Daniel Jones, 15 rushing touchdowns the last 2+ seasons. And you and I have been talking about it all week. We wonder how the run game for him is going to be different as they try to protect his shoulder. Play action to Jackson. Jones taking another deep shot down the field. Has Taylor, and again it's off his hands. Well, it's the 2nd time we saw Taylor just missed on a pass down the seam.
And this is Duke watching film last week and realizing there's opportunities to push the ball downfield against Virginia Tech. Just missed another big shot. They're going to keep coming, Clay, until Virginia Tech proves they're going to stop it. Daniel Jones will keep launching that ball downfield.
18 freshmen and sophomores on the defensive 2 deep for Virginia Tech. So now 2nd and 10 for the Blue Devils. Jones slides ahead. somehow got it away. It's caught at the 35-yard line by his tight end, Daniel Helm, the big senior. He'll move the chains again.
One of the things that stood out in meeting Daniel Jones and shaking his hand yesterday, he's stronger than he looks. That strength in the pocket right there, finding a way to get that completion.
Jackson will get a couple. Great help, too, by the tight end Helm. Coming back, knowing that Jones was in trouble, got open.
Clark mentioned how it's going to energize their receivers with Daniel Jones back. It's going to energize this whole football team.
Second and 9 from the 33. Jones on the keeper. Another first down for Duke.
You know, gentlemen, I spoke to the legend, Bud Foster, right before the game, and they didn't know if Daniel Jones would be in the lineup because of the injury, but he's so impressed with this kid. He said he's a big-time NFL prospect. Incredible pocket awareness, but the running is what makes him to the next level. And he said last year, he was their leading rusher against them. So flush him out of the pocket, he kills you with his wheels.
You just saw Foster. David Cutcliffe says he knows he's going to come in here with a chip on his shoulder. Jones to the end zone. Has a man. Touchdown, Noah Gray. Did he stay in bounds? They call it a touchdown on the field. They'll look at it again.
They take the receiver up top and move the whole right side of the secondary away, and then they find Noah Gray just up the sideline on a wheel route. Beautiful play design by Fuente. And finally, someone for Duke makes a catch for Daniel Jones. What an impressive start for him coming off of his injury.
First touchdown this year for Gray as he is able to complete the catch. Now Colin Wareham, the walk-on kicker, comes on for the extra point. So the third time into Virginia Tech territory is the charm for the Blue Devils. They're on the board. 9 plays, 75 yards. Jones to Gray for 6.
Love the play design by Fuente, and he finds Gray down the sideline. Duke takes the lead.
So Justin Fuente has 21 wins and an ACC Coastal title since he replaced Frank Beamer. But right now, the only thing anybody's talking about is last week when it comes to the Hokies. His team is down now 7-3 here in the first quarter. Noah Gray on the touchdown reception for the Blue Devils. This is Terrius Wheatley, son of Tyrone Wheatley, on the return out close to the 25-yard line. Now Ryan Willis, the Kansas transfer out of Overland Park, Kansas, making his first start since 2016 when he was a Kansas Jayhawk. That's Stephen Peoples on the run, maybe a yard.
And Virginia Tech is very fortunate to have Ryan Willis, a kid who's got a ton of experience. This is not new to him. They feel very comfortable with him running their offense.
He's been around the block. 10 starts at KU between 2015 and 16. Lost all 10. That was a bad Jayhawks team in those 2 years. Stephen Peoples, catch and run for a first down. Give him 11. Giles Harris, another tackle for the Blue Devils.
Really nice play design by Justin Fuente. Finally, this time I had called David Cutcliffe Fuente before on the Duke touchdown, but taking his back, trying to spread the defense horizontally in man-to-man. It's just outrunning the defense.
Here's Hendon Hooker now coming in, and Justin Fuente told us this week that Hooker might get some snaps at quarterback. He is now the backup to Willis, and we know how backup quarterbacks have been factoring in to the college football storyline this year. Just ask the Clemson Tigers. We saw that today. But after one play, Willis comes right back out onto the field.
Really good to get Hooker some reps. You never know when you're going to have to rely on him to come in the game.
Play action. Willis running out of time, throws a shot deep downfield. Oh, Grimsley had it in his hands and couldn't hold on. Hezekiah Grimsley nearly hauled it in at the 15-yard line, but it's incomplete. And third down and long coming up.
And Grimsley is Virginia Tech's speed receiver down the field. Willis launches this ball, almost an incredible catch. Both these offenses tonight being very aggressive, giving all their receivers opportunities to go make some plays.
Grimsley with some big moments last year for the Hokies as a true freshman. We're expecting big things from him this year. Now there's Kuma with the catch. Caught at the 45-yard line of Duke. Eric Kuma is a guy they really trust, and in third and long, they go to him as Hendon Hooker comes back in.
Beautiful ball placement by Willis, just taking a little tempo off of it, understanding that's a big, long, athletic receiver out there, letting him go make that back shoulder catch.
Hooker, a dual threat redshirt freshman, North Carolina native too. He'll keep it. He'll turn it out. He'll take a hard shot at the 41-yard line by Brandon Feaster, the nickelback. Hooker came out of Dudley High School in Greensboro, North Carolina. This has to be a thrill for him, getting some reps here right away in the first quarter.
And they love him. He's a long, athletic kid, getting better with throwing the football. He's got a bright future for Justin Fuente and Virginia Tech.
Now Willis out of the gun. On 2nd and 6, that's a first down reception for Eric Kuma. Only upperclassman in the wide receiver core. That's a gain of 10 for Kuma.
Starting to see Ryan Willis kind of settle into some rhythm here. Not only is he settling the rhythm, but Justin Fuente as a play caller has got to get a feel for him as well. How does he like to start games? When he gets settled in, what kind of tempo is he playing at? This is a very good rhythm drive for Ryan Willis and Justin Fuente.
Peoples in the backfield. Will send Wheatley around on the jet sweep. Terrius Wheatley. Of course, dad Tyrone. Wheatley did not play last week for Virginia Tech. He was sick. It was just a perfect storm last week in that loss to Old Dominion. Guys were sick. They were hurt. They lose their starting quarterback. The backup quarterback for the Monarchs goes out of his mind. And Virginia Tech is down after one quarter here in Durham. Justin Fuente and the Hokies marching the football into Duke territory. The drive continues next. Duke is partnering with Curing Kids Cancer for its First and Gold campaign to promote National Childhood Cancer Awareness. Tonight, these kids and their families were recognized, and we wish them the best in their fight. Virginia Tech going to the end zone. There's Damon Hazelton hauling it in. Touchdown. Ryan Willis with his second touchdown pass in as many weeks. That's a 27-yard hookup, and Virginia Tech goes back in front.
And Virginia Tech knew they were going to have to take advantage of some press man coverage from Duke on the back end. We've seen shot after shot after shot coming out of the quarter. Take another one. Big touchdown for Virginia Tech.
Johnson Tech's on the extra point. Ryan Willis threw for 131 yards and a touchdown after Josh Jackson got hurt last week. You know, we've seen some pretty good things from him here so far tonight, and the Hokies are on top. So Hazelton on that touchdown reception, completing a 9-play, 76-yard drive for the Hokies. They're back on top, 10-7. Duke got a win at Northwestern, week 2. The defense played really well in that game for the Blue Devils, gave up just 7 points. Duke 4-0. Down by 3 now as Daniel Jones feels some pressure, spun around, and he's sacked. At the 16-yard line, first sack tonight for the Hokies defense. It's Ricky Walker and House Gaines meeting at the quarterback.
Ricky Waters going to be have to be the guy that kind of puts this Virginia Tech defensive line on his back. Gaines with some pressure, forces Jones to step up. Walker right there for the sack.
Receiver screen, TJ Ramming plucking away across the 30, and he's tripped up at the 32-yard line. They get a big chunk of it back. That's their guy, TJ Ramming, closing in on 200 career catches. It's a gain of 15. It'll bring up third down and about 3.
How nice is it to have a guy like TJ Ramming on a 2nd and long that you can just get the ball out to him in space and make something happen.
Try to pick up the first down on the ground, but Deion Jackson is swallowed up. And Virginia Tech defensive front led by Jared Hewitt this time. He has a huge motor at nose tackle, and Duke will have to kick.
And Hewitt's a D lineman that's a little bit light, but he gets on the right angles. He gets in the right leverage with his pads. A beautiful job of scraping down the line of scrimmage and cutting off that lane. Virginia Tech defense starting to make some plays.
Damon Hazelton back to return this punt from Austin Parker. Boy, that sack really killed the drive. A loss of 8 on that play. Ball comes out. Loose football at the 13-yard line. Who's got it? That's going to stay with Virginia Tech. Punt of 53 yards. And the Hokies are fortunate that they were able to recover. Wallace Wade Stadium, named after the former Duke head coach. Wade took the Blue Devils to the Rose Bowl a couple of times. All right, let's get your impact players.
Well, for Virginia Tech, they're such a good run team. It's got to be their back, Stephen Peoples and Deshaun McClease, to continue to allow those shots downfield. And then for the Duke defense, Sarah Norton, D. Mukeji, got to get some pressure on this Virginia Tech offensive line.
How about Trey Hornbuckle? He makes impact on that play. He comes in and makes the hit for a loss of 5 on Sean Savoy. That jet sweep went nowhere. That was a clothesline.
No hesitation from Hornbuckle right there. He sees the tackle pull. Savoy comes across. Huge hit. He's lucky to hang on to that ball.
Worst Tech starting field position, and it gets worse. 2nd and 15 now. Try to run their way back to the original line of scrimmage with Terrius Wheatley. Joe Giles Harris, another tackle. Dylan Singleton helped out. And now it's 3rd down at about 14.
And if I'm Duke defensively, I've seen Virginia Tech take so many shots in my man-to-man. I want to play off, play some zone, make Ryan Willis get through a progression.
See what kind of pressure they bring. There's a twist up front. Man wide open, it's Grimsley. Across the 30, down at the 33. First down.
Grimsley just with a quick release seam, and he's just let go. Nice job of Ryan Willis finding him in that split safety defense. Very impressive right now, understanding what's going on from the Duke defense.
Grimsley, a little ginger going over to the sideline. They need him. Willis now 8 of 13, 138 and a touchdown pass. Looking to throw here. Drops it off underneath to Dalton Keene, the tight end. Steps out of a tackle, big run. To the 40 of Duke, still on his feet along the sideline. Inside the 30, 10, touchdown! Dalton Keene, the guy they call Rambo, takes it 67 yards after the catch. Touchdown Tech.
How about Dalton Keene showing the ability to break some tackles and not run away from a bunch of defensive guys. A young sophomore for them. They want to try to get the ball to him more and more. Beautiful play design.
4 plays, 87 yards. Just a minute and a half. Keene with that headband and hair. They love Rambo. And now the lead is 10 for Virginia Tech on the road. You know, Virginia Tech did draw first blood tonight. That's what I think of when I think Rambo. There's Dalton Keene, the guy they call Rambo. And that 67-yard touchdown reception to make it a 10-point lead for Tech. 17 points. Daniel Jones avoids the sack, rolling to his right, swings it downfield, and it is caught on the comebacker by Jonathan Lloyd, the former two-sport star here at Duke. Bails out his quarterback. That's an 11-yard catch.
What an impressive throw for a guy coming off a broken collarbone to be able to make. Beautiful job by Lloyd coming back to the ball.
So now first down and 10 for the Blue Devils. It's Britton Brown finding some running room on the right side. Good pickup on first down. Brown averaging almost 6 yards per carry. And on that one, he'll get 8.
You see at the end of the play, what he does best there is run so physical. He sets the tempo for Duke offensively when it comes to their run game.
Inside handoff, Brown cut off, changes field, and he's going to pick up the first down. Ball came out. Oh, Dax Hollyfield recovers for Virginia Tech. That's another Duke turnover. Khalil Ladler with his second big play of this ball game. It looked like Duke turned it over for the second time tonight, but here is the look that they are taking a peek at upstairs. Andrew Panucci, our replay official, and it sure looks like Britton Brown's right knee is down. Looks like this is going to be overturned.
Yeah, Duke's certainly fortunate that his knee is down, but I will say this Virginia Tech defense looks like a Bud Foster defense right now with the way they're running around.
After reviewing the play, the runner's knees was down before the ball came out. It'll be placed at the 46-yard line and a first down Duke.
Turns out great for Duke. Not only is the call reversed, but they get a first down with 10:35 to go here before halftime.
Don't be surprised if Duke comes out and take a shot here coming off of this long break, having a ton of time to talk about it offensively.
Chris Taylor is the guy he's been taking shots with so far. He has missed him twice on big play attempts. The lunch pail defense rushes 3. Jones slides, throws, complete. Back into Tech territory. That catch made by Copenhaver, his first touch tonight.
The lunch pail defense is in full effect, playing with their hair on fire, but their short man, Trevon Hill, he's gone from the team. Only 3 starters back, and Javon Quillen, the right corner, holding his ribs. Have not seen him back, but I'll tell you what they have going for him. The fan base is in full effect.
Yeah, they travel well. The Hokies fans are here in full throat as Britton Brown is cut down on the far side by Reggie Floyd. He is a headhunter. The strong safety comes up. That's going to be a loss on the play. 3rd down and about 4.
What stands out on tape with Reggie Floyd is he's quick to trigger. When he sees run, there's no hesitation. We saw it on that play right there.
Yeah, Virginia Tech's defense could use Trevon Hill right now on a play like this. Looked like movement on that left side. No penalty flag. There is Taylor with the catch. They'll take it to the 34. Another first down for the Blue Devils as they keep the drive alive. Ashby on the tackle after the gain of 14.
TJ ramming in the slot. He demands so much attention. He just runs a little seam route, and Taylor's right there to fill the void. Jones is finding him.
Jones looking for Bracy. Open in the end zone. Incomplete. Couldn't haul it in. And pretty good coverage in the secondary by the freshman Caleb Farley. So now 2nd and 15.
A really cool play designed by Duke. And Zach Roper, they bring Bracy all the way across the formation, clear out with some receivers. They get the leverage they want downfield on Caleb Farley. Just got to come down with some of these catches for Duke.
Now, Jones hasn't been helped out by his receivers. That's probably the 3rd or 4th pass that should have been caught. Jones got hit from behind, and it's incomplete. 3rd down and long as we go to Chris Cotter. White out in Happy Valley tonight. What a great atmosphere for that big one in the Big Ten. Deion Jackson straight up the middle. Gets to the 25-yard line. Robert Porcher on that stop. So the field goal unit will come out. This will be a long field goal attempt, or fairly long. Colin Wareham, 4 for 4 on field goal attempts this year. He has a long of 35. This is from 43. The hold of Jackson Hubbard, and it's no good. Wide left. First missed field goal this season for Duke. That's going to take us to the half. 17-7 Virginia Tech. Daniel Jones' first start after missing 2 with a collarbone injury. Ryan Willis looked good for Tech, and they've got the lead. Commercial break. Welcome back to Durham. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. Back into Wallace Wade Stadium. Virginia Tech leading number 22 Duke at the half, 17-7. Clay Matvick, Dan Orlovsky back with you. Paul Carcaterra down on the field. Of course, Virginia Tech embarrassed last week. They've got a backup quarterback now as their starter in Ryan Willis. I thought he was pretty good in the first half, but more impressed by their defense.
Looks like a Virginia Tech defense, and it started with Khalil Ladler finding a way to get his hands on the ball, tip pick early on for this Virginia Tech defense. But how about this defensive line led by Ricky Walker and House Gaines, finding ways to get penetration, making Daniel Jones, the Duke quarterback, uncomfortable. They've been the heartbeat of this Virginia Tech defense in the first half.
And how about the defensive numbers? 632 is what they gave up to Old Dominion last week. But in the first half, just 184 yards total offense for Duke. And the biggest goal for the Hokies was stopping the Duke running game. They did that in the first half hour. 41 yards rushing for the Blue Devils.
And what it's done is it's forced Duke to be in a ton of 3rd and longs, and they're 2 for 8 right now on 3rd down.
Could have called for the fair catch, but Wheatley's going to return it. And he spins out of a tackle at the 23, gets close to the 32-yard line, and that's where the Hokies will go to work. Let's go down to Kark.
He calmed down. That's what Justin Fuente told me about his starting quarterback, Ryan Willis. Remember, this is a kid who hadn't started in 2 years. His last start was at Kansas. This is his first start as a Hokie. Once he got into rhythm, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns in that first half. He said he loved his composure and his ability to make those big plays defensively. He said the key is they're mixing up their schemes, running different multiple looks every time they're out.
And he wants to throw on first down. First play of the second half intended for Hazelton up the sideline. Some pretty good coverage there by Duke, led by Jeremy McDuffie, who's back. He's been dealing with a leg injury here in the first few weeks of the season. Second down and 10, but yeah, Willis, 224 yards passing, a couple of touchdowns. Product of Bishop Miege High School, Kansas City. And that is McLeese, brought down short of the 30 by Derek Tangelo and Joe Giles Harris. 3rd down and long here for the Hokies on their first possession of the half.
And really the most impressive thing from Willis in the first half was Fuente had no idea what kind of decisions he was going to make once that game got going. Very impressive. We'll see what he can get done on this 3rd and long.
Duke showing a blitz. Picked up, thrown to the outside. That is caught by the tight end Chris Cunningham. And he's going to be chopped down by Singleton in the secondary. A gain of 6, but not enough for the Hokies offense. They will bring out the punting unit. TJ Ramming will go back to return. This will be the 3rd punt for Oscar Bradburn. The Aussie gets the snap. It's a pretty good kick. Ramming calls for the fair catch. And Duke will go to the work at the 16 when we come back after this quick 15-second timeout. Daniel Jones, junior quarterback from Charlotte, back only 3 weeks after breaking his left collarbone. 143 yards passing in the first half. A touchdown throw. Also had a ball tipped at the line that was intercepted. He'll hand off on the first play for Duke here in the half, and it's Britton Brown. The gain of about 4. Your thoughts on what you saw from Daniel Jones, especially considering what he's coming off of?
Certainly some moments when he looked like a guy who hadn't played in a couple weeks, late with some balls, but he also had some shots downfield that you'd love to see some of his receivers make for him.
This is an extension of the run game, and this bears fruit. TJ ramming a big play. Stepped out along the sideline near the 40-yard line of Duke territory. It's going to be enough for a first down, of course. It could have been a real big play had he stayed in bounds.
It's a simple play. I mean, they're just kicking him a little bubble out of the slot. The Virginia Tech defense is collapsing on a little bit of the run fake, and ramming is gaining leverage down that sideline. That's going to be something they're going to go back to a lot in the second half.
Third catch for ramming, now just 2 shy of 200 career catches. That was a gain of 17. Now Brown. This is what Virginia Tech has been doing all night, just squashing the run game. Divine Diablo, who did not play last week, he was nicked up. Makes the tackle. He's from nearby Winston-Salem, went to Mount Tabor High School here in North Carolina. There's Bud Foster.
The fascinating thing with Bud Foster right now is he keeps changing it up on Duke. 3-man front, 4-man front. It's keeping them off balance in their run game.
Rock solid Deion Jackson, sophomore out of Atlanta, goes ahead. Third down and 6. Jackson, 6 foot, 220 pounds. He is sheer muscle from the waist down. The big body running back. See what they do here on 3rd and 6. Jones slides up in the pocket, releases to Lloyd. I don't know, I don't think he's close enough. Stopped about a yard short of the first down. Farley and Ashby combine on the stop. I think the freshman Farley has really played well tonight in that Virginia Tech secondary. With tempo going for it on 4th down. Jackson lowers his head. I don't know. It's going to depend on the spot. The Hokies think they stopped him. They needed the 49 of Virginia Tech.
Man, this Virginia Tech defense brought their lunch pail tonight and came to play. Look at the push off the ball on the Duke offensive line. And I don't think he got there, Clay. What a great job by the interior of the Virginia Tech defensive line.
That's well short, and Virginia Tech will take over on downs. Duke was able to convert a 4th down earlier in this game, not this time. Look inside Cameron Indoor Stadium. Getting ready for basketball season, which is right around the corner. Basketball team will tip off against Kentucky November 6th. And the football teams for those 2 basketball powerhouses doing pretty well, too. In fact, Kentucky is rolling against South Carolina here tonight. Trey Hornbuckle continues to play well. He tipped that pass. As Virginia Tech is looking at 2nd down now, their best field position to start a drive. They're in the midfield stripe. Yeah, Kentucky and Duke, both in the top 25 in college football. Duke is down tonight, and this is a good run for the Hokies. It's Stephen Peoples. Good first down, carry a gain of 14 for the senior from Virginia.
Now they've just moved him out into an empty set, kind of off the hip of the tackle, bring him in quick motion, hand it off. It's just a simple outside zone, but one of those linebackers for Duke is displaced because of that initial set.
Peoples had a career high 156 on the ground last week. Now the receiver throws it, Sean Savoy. As Tech tries a little razzle-dazzle. Savoy, their smallest receiver, had a great freshman year. He's been a little quiet this year in the receiving game, but he tries his hand at a pass. And you can see by the smile on his face, that just didn't quite work out. Play action. Willis looking for Kuma. What a catch! Eric Kuma A contested reception along the sideline. Just beat Josh Blackwell to the football. And now they're knocking on the door after that huge play of 38 yards.
And this is the exact recipe Virginia Tech was looking for offensively, knowing we have to win these matchups downfield against Duke's corners, and they've done it all night, whether it's been Kuma, whether it's been Hazelton. Their young receivers stepping up and making plays for their quarterback.
Now they'll run it inside with Peoples toward the end zone. Did he get in? You bet. Touchdown. Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech just decides to run the ball right down the strength of this Duke defense. And Stephen Peoples, their big-bodied back, finds a way to score off the going for it on 4th down. Duke, the defensive stop. Virginia Tech finds a way to turn that turnover on downs into a big touchdown.
Stephen Peoples with his 5th rushing touchdown of the year, capping that 5-play, 50-yard drive. Through the end zone touchback. 21 unanswered points by Virginia Tech here. Let's get. All right, Chris. Ohio State without Nick Bosa tonight. That's certainly a factor, you would think. There's a pass that's caught by Taylor. 38-yard pass play. Daniel Jones to Taylor to start this Duke drive.
Just fitting one in a window right there, coming back all the way across the field. And Duke's going to have to throw the ball a little bit here to get themselves back into this football game.
Jones is complete to the 40 of Virginia Tech. Jonathan Lloyd with that grab. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 1.
Beautiful job by Lloyd of just finding the zone, being boring in it, making sure he's giving Daniel Jones a window to throw that ball. But I want to see Duke take a shot here again. They did early on, didn't capitalize on it with a couple drops. Take a shot, see if you can breathe some life into this offense.
Yeah, they need to take advantage of this great field position to start the drive. That is Lloyd. Can't get out of the tackle of Javon Quillen. Boy, the corners have done a much better job tonight than what we saw against Old Dominion.
The most impressive thing is their tackling. The whole defense has tackled so well, and the corners have been in space a lot, making nice tackles.
2 for 11 on 3rd down are the Blue Devils. And it looks like Deion Jackson picked this one up. They'll keep the drive alive. 1st down, Duke.
Virginia Tech just making everything so hard on Duke's offense right now. Nothing is being given to them, and I'll go back to it. You got to be willing to take a shot right here.
Well, Quentin Harris comes in. The backup quarterback. Started the last couple games while Jones was out with that broken collarbone. They hand it off. And nowhere to go for Marvin Hubbard. And that's how the the 3rd quarter is going to come to an end. 2nd down and long when we come back. Duke on the mark. This 7 Tech. Tech trying to get to 2 in the ACC with a win here tonight. 24-7. Virginia Tech has responded well after being embarrassed last week at Old Dominion. Duke has the football at the 40 of Virginia Tech. 2nd down and long. And this is Jackson up the middle. He'll get to the 30 as Ricky Walker brings him down. Duke hasn't scored since the 4th quarter. A 23-yard touchdown catch by Gray. That's batted down. And it's 4th down as Bryce Watts made the play. Intended for Chris Taylor. And now a decision here for Duke.
You got to go for it.
Yeah.
Duke. Yeah, I mean, this is crucial time. Find a way to get TJ ramming in space with the one-on-one. Daniel Jones looked for him.
They converted once here tonight on 4th down. Jones fakes the throw to the near side, rolls to the right, complete to Jackson. He's got a lot of room. Inside the 5-yard line, Deion Jackson. Nudged out by Javon Quillen. But a play of 28 yards, and Duke is knocking on the door.
Love the design by Zach Roper. Sneaking the back out in a man situation. Huge conversion.
Now they run it with Jackson. It's right to the doorstep. Reggie Floyd keeps him out. 2nd down and goal to go for the Blue Devils. You know, if they can get in here quickly, a lot of game left. But Duke definitely needs a touchdown on this drive. Settling for 3, I don't think it's going to do him much good.
No doubt.
They jump into the end zone. It is Jackson with an athletic play to get in. Wow. First point since there was 3:25 left on the clock in the first quarter for the Duke Blue Devils.
How about Jackson able to go up over the top of this penetrating low Virginia Tech defensive line? They've been stopped a little bit on some 4th and shorts. They rely on their young athletic back to go up over the top.
And now it's 24-14. Deion Jackson, great bloodlines. Mom was an All-American track and field star at Miami. Dad was a great running back at the Citadel, using those bloodlines and his athleticism to get in for Duke to make this a game again. We get a ball game here in Durham. 24-14 now as Duke scores for the first time since the first quarter. This is just a beautiful campus. I love the Renaissance architecture that you see all over here in Durham.
You know, I grew up in Connecticut down the street from Yale University. There's a lot of buildings on the Duke campus that remind me a lot of that beautiful Yale architecture.
And Wheatley will take a knee. Virginia Tech will start at the 25. Willis to Grimsley, batted and incomplete. We'll see how Virginia Tech responds now. Maybe a little more pressure on Willis after Duke showed life on their last drive.
Yeah, we're going to see some metal. We're going to see if he's got any inside of him, because this is the closest in this moment it's been. It's also a little bit of pressure on the Duke defensive coordinator, Matt Guerreri. He's only 29 years old. Can you figure out a way to get a stop on 3rd down coming up?
McLeese trying to pick his way with the Duke defenders. Gets 3. 3rd down and 7. You see Matt Guerreri. He's in the white hat behind that post. Just 29. He and Ben Albert sharing that defensive coordinator role. An impressive young man. Recently lost his dad, Jim, to cancer. This team has rallied around him.
This is the biggest 3rd down call of his career right now.
3rd and 7. Willis getting some pressure off the edge, throws it deep downfield, adjusting to the ball, and what a catch by Trey Turner. The 6'2" true freshman with an athletic play.
This is almost a carbon copy replay of what happened to Virginia Tech's defense last week. Man-to-man and bunch of receivers for Virginia Tech are going and making plays down the field on opportunity balls, especially on 3rd down. Some great conversions tonight.
Gain of 33 as Turner, the former high school basketball star, gets it to the 38-yard line of Duke. Stephen Peoples now on the run. That was the 5th 20-plus yard play tonight for the Virginia Tech offense with their new starting quarterback, Ryan Willis.
But they haven't made it hard on him. As a quarterback, when I get to the line of scrimmage and I see press man, I go back to my thoughts of being in the schoolyard in recess. I'm going to find the guy that's better than everybody else and throw it to him. They're not making Ryan Willis think that much.
Over 300 yards passing for Willis in his first start since 2016. He was the starter at Kansas. Rolls out to his right, dumps it off to Keene. He made a play like this in the first half that turned into a touchdown. This time gets to the 20. So the Hokies back in the red zone. 11:42 to go.
Now they've started to move the pocket a little bit with him starting this drive on the move. Some bootlegs here, and he's just been in incredible rhythm all night. This is also why I thought this offense would be better with Willis, because of this downfield passing game he brings.
Peoples again finds a little crease and gets inside the 15-yard line, down to the 13 for Stephen Peoples. Well, he has been the workhorse tonight. Now he's at 13 carries, 42 yards, and a touchdown. Second and 3. Peoples again. A yard short, it looks like. It'll be third down as Giles Harris makes the tackle.
And you're making this play call thinking, if you're Virginia Tech, this is 4-down territory. You want to find a way to shut this game down and score a touchdown. And if you're Duke's defense, you've got to sell out here and force a fourth down decision out of Virginia Tech.
So Matt Guerreri's defense can get a big stop. Willis is going to keep it himself, and he is chopped down short of the 10-yard line. Boy, this is going to depend on the spot. Kobe Kwanzaa, backup middle linebacker to Ben Humphreys, got in there, made the hit, and yeah, they're short. Fourth down coming up for the Hokies.
And if I'm Justin Fuente, I'm going for this. This field goal, I don't feel comfortable with just a 2-possession lead. I want to go shut the door on this Duke team, figure out a way to go get this and punch in 6 points at the end.
Willis goes under center. Kuma in motion. Willis on the sneak. Did he get enough? It was Kwanzaa again, sticking his helmet in there, trying to make the stop for Duke. They may have to bring out the chains for the third time tonight. I don't know. Justin Fuente hoping he gets a favorable spot here. It is first down, Virginia Tech. David Cutcliffe. There's a bit of disbelief there, maybe on the spot. And now Virginia Tech has it first down and goal to go. Leading by 10 with 9:14 to play. Willis is going to take a shot to the end zone. Penalty flags all over the place, and the ball is caught. Touchdown, Phil Patterson. Most likely pass interference, and it's not going to matter. What a catch by Patterson. He made a great adjustment.
Defensive pass interference. That flying. Results of the play, touchdown.
Wow, with McDuffie all over him. The All-ACC defensive back did his best to disrupt that play, and even with the contact, Patterson hauls it in. First touchdown catch of the year for Patterson. Johnson with the extra point. Huge drive for Tech. It's 31-14.
How about Ryan Willis and the way he's thrown the fade ball tonight? Always giving his guys opportunity to make plays. Another one as Virginia Tech extends their lead.
Ryan Willis's first start as a Hokie has gone very well tonight. 332 yards passing, just threw his third touchdown pass. They went for it on fourth and about a foot. Willis able to pick it up. And that is a huge play in this football game, as it's now a 3-score game once again. Let's go to 2-2 on the year, 2-0 in the ACC, which is more important as Quentin Harris is in to take that snap at quarterback for the Blue Devils. He'll get a couple on the keeper. And it looks like Duke is going to lose their first ball game of the year. You know, they had a 4-0 start last year, too. But then Daniel Jones was nicked up for a while, and they lost 6 in a row. Still ended up having a decent season as Deion Jackson makes the carry.
You see Quentin Harris back there for Duke. He's a fascinating kid. He actually lives about a mile from where I live currently in Ridgefield, Connecticut, on the border of Wilton, where he's from. If you talk to people in this program, they call him the president. He might be the president of the United States one day, or he'll be a CEO of a company. This kid has it all from a personality standpoint, and his team loves his selfless approach.
Yeah, he has a good understanding of the offense, too, Card. And you would expect that with David Cutcliffe as the quarterback's coach. He hits Bobo here. First catch for Jake Bobo. He turns it into an explosive play all the way down to the 40-yard line of Virginia Tech, a gain of 31.
In those games that he's had to play early on in this season, he did not play like a backup.
No.
He's been the guy that has led this 4-0 start for Duke. Beautiful conversion there.
Threw 3 touchdowns in his first career start at Baylor. 3 more last week against NC Central. He's going to take a shot here, and it lands incomplete. Quentin Harris, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions on the year. His completion rate isn't great, but you can see that he was more than a capable backup quarterback when they really needed him. It speaks to the depth that David Cutcliffe has built here at Duke. Jackson.
You know, the thing that's been most impressive about Quentin Harris is handling a tough situation. I mean, Daniel Jones is a really good quarterback, and then you're asked to step into his shoes and lead a team with some high expectations. They've talked about how they thought this was going to be a special year for them since the beginning of January. He's done exactly what's been asked of him.
Need the 30 to keep the drive alive. They swing it out to Hubbard, and he's going to be well short. It's going to bring up 4th down.
Hubbard looked like had the sideline there and just kind of lost his footing or fell out of a cleat.
So they're going to keep the offense out of the field. Nothing to lose here. But, you know, what does it say that Harris is out here instead of Daniel Jones at this point?
We're struggling to protect Daniel Jones there. I don't know if that's we got to make sure that he's with us for the long haul.
Incomplete. And Virginia Tech will take over on downs, and they'll be able to work the clock. Oh, listen to you. You are not a one-trick pony. You can talk about it, just about anything. I can ask you about tiddlywinks.
I believe it's called being a jock.
That's right, Walt. All right, 25 straight bowl appearances for Virginia Tech. Longest active streak in the country. They want to keep that alive, and I'm sure they're going to feel much better after tonight for the chances of that happening. We'll work some clock here. What a night it's been for Ryan Willis. Right up the middle. 3rd down coming up. Let's take a look at Dano's national storylines, and how about Clemson pulling it out in Death Valley today with Chase Bryce at the controls when Trevor Lawrence got knocked out.
Dabo Swinney rolling the dice a couple times this week. You know what? Credit Clemson for figuring out a way to win a game after a rough week with the Kelly Bryant and Trevor Lawrence storyline. Syracuse is much better than people think. Will Grier with another huge game. West Virginia's probably a top 10 team in Michigan, finding a way, you know, on the road, down a bunch early, come back, win that game against Northwestern, keeping their college playoff picture hopes alive.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what are the chances that Kelly Bryant comes back into a Tigers uniform? Huh? Any?
1. You know, first of all, Trevor Lawrence They made the move to Trevor Lawrence, so no athlete wants to get disrespected or told, hey, you're not good enough, and then actually come back, please, and bail us out. We saw Chase Bryce find a way to win a game and make some plays in the second half. So if you're Clemson, you feel okay about your quarterback situation, but it is a dicey one, taking a college playoff team and putting them really one play away from your season being over.
Now, it worked out today for Clemson. It'll be interesting to see if they fall in the polls. Duke last won the ACC Coastal in 2013. They're still in the hunt for that, of course. If they win it this year, they're going to have earned it. A tough schedule ahead. Justin Fuente will be in a better humor after this one here tonight. What a difference a week makes. And Ryan Willis, the star of this one. 332 yards passing, 3 touchdown throws. As he said it before the game, he didn't need to be great, he needed to be clean. I thought at times he was great, but he was certainly a manager of this offense and takes Virginia Tech to a tough place to get a win, and that's the case here tonight. Let's go down to Clark.
Coach, it was a tough week after the ODU loss. A lot of people questioned how you would respond. What did you see from your team tonight?
Well, everybody saw it. I mean, just a fantastic job by our coaching staff and our kids. You know, sometimes in life you face adversity and things don't go your way, and how you answer the bell defines who you are. And didn't mean we were going to win, but we certainly played much better, and I'm awfully proud of our kids.
Ryan Willis walks on last year. He earns a scholarship. He gets his first start tonight. What gave you the belief that he could perform like this?
Well, we see him every day in practice. You know, I mean, he didn't play last year. He sat out, and he's done a good job. It's hard to be the backup. You know, you take limited reps and know you're probably not going to play. Then all of a sudden your number gets called and you've got to be ready. And he's done a great job staying focused. He's been through a lot of adversity himself, and it was nice to see him have success today.
Holding the Duke offense to 14 points is no small task. What made your defense tick tonight?
Well, we kept the ball in front of us. First of all, we were able to get pressure on the quarterback with only 3 guys at times and corralled the running game. I mean, we played with great effort and intensity. Bud Foster did a fantastic job. He's a great coach and great person. Glad he's a Hokie.
Congratulations.
You bet. Thank you.
Yeah, Bud Foster's lunch pail defense. Last week they gave up 632. Tonight, 326. What a contrast.
The passion that defense played tonight looked like a Virginia Tech defense.
31-14 the final for Dan Orlovsky and Paul Carcaterra on Play-Matic. Next, we take you back to the studio for College Football Scoreboard with Chris Cotter, Jim Mora, and Emmanuel Acho. Thanks for watching. We say so long from Durham, North Carolina. Nice win for the Virginia Tech Hokies, 2-0 in the ACC.